Awesome. I am so excited to be talking to Damon. Damon, tell me about who you are. What do you do?
Okay, well, it's a little hard to encapsulate, but I help people change. Um,
Okay.
so I've been working on this basically all my life. I figured out I needed to change when I was a young man, and I've just been doing it ever since. And do anything that long, you figure some stuff out.
Yeah.
And so I'm condensing it all down into one program right now, which I'm sort of almost debuting at Funnel Hacking Live. It'll be going live before that. But it's called Get Over Your Ex Now. Get Over Your Ex. That's the website, getoveryourexnow.com. And it's Get Over Your Ex or anyone now. It's not just an ex. It could be a toxic parent, a sibling you have trouble with, anybody, basically. So it uses neuroscience, and it's a 4-hour workshop online on video, and so it's evergreen. And I'm basically planning on promoting it through affiliates and through Facebook Lives and Instagram, and so that's kind of going to be the foundation of my online empire, right?
Okay. Awesome.
So it's just one program that solves one specific painful problem that people are willing to spend money on, and they know they have a problem. And it's something that women especially talk about among themselves, so hopefully it can spread that way. So that's what I'm doing.
That is awesome. And how'd you get into that? I'm guessing there's a story there.
Well, yeah, it's my life.
Touche. Touche.
Yeah, no, I mean, it started because as a young man, I realized I had to make changes. I was like really very confused and depressed. And I just started observing what was going on in my mind. I was doing mindfulness meditation before I ever heard of it. And I noticed that some things I did made a difference. And so I just started following up on that. And then I did discover Zen, and I did a lot of Zen meditation, like several hours a day for over a year. And then other things, I've done lots of meditation of different types, Zen and Sufi and Tibetan Buddhist meditation and other things you've never heard of. And studied a lot of different practices and modalities. And out of all that, something came together for me in the year 2010. Started asking, I'd hit a dead end. I'd been doing stuff consistently for a long time, and I hit a dead end for myself. And I had clients at that point, and I was wondering, why is it hard for people to change? Why should it be hard for you to change? If you have a fear or a bad habit, why can't you just say, well, I'm just not going to do that anymore?
Right.
Why is that hard? So I started asking, how that would be useful to our ancestors, hunter-gatherers. And I came up with some answers, and some new neuroscience discoveries came my way. And I kind of put it all together and walked through a doorway into a new landscape of understanding how people work. And I call it neuromastery because it's a whole approach. It's more than we can go into here.
Yeah.
I've created a meditation out of it. So I have a Facebook group where I teach that for free. And
cool.
just to share with the world, that's my gift to the world.
That's awesome.
So that's
If someone wanted to join that group, how would they find it?
It's the Neuromastery Meditation Practice Community.
Okay. And just go search for Neuromastery
to find it
on Facebook.
Neuromastery Meditation Practice Community.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I hope anybody who watches this will check it out. I'm just about to edit a video training that I have where you'll learn how to do it. You get results in like 6 minutes, like observable results, because it's a body-mind process, and we go to the neurology of how your patterns are actually embedded in your brain as neural networks, and we can access those and change those in 6 or 8 or 10-minute sessions. Even 4 minutes, people get a difference.
Wow. That's amazing.
And it's painless, and it's lasting, and it's really deep. It's profound. I think it's a breakthrough.
That is awesome. So what made you decide to go to Funnel Hacking Live?
Well, I've known about and studied Russell's stuff for years. I've studied, I've been trying to get online for years. I've done various things. Nothing has really caught. but I think I think Russell really has the insights, I mean, we know he's brilliant, right?
Right.
And he's got it, so I drank the Kool-Aid, and so I have his books. I've used ClickFunnels and so on. So I just did his 30-day challenge, and I made a lot of progress during that. Although I'm not doing what they're having you do. I'm doing an invisible funnel with the Get Over Your Ex, so there's no barrier to entry. People do it, and then a few days later they actually pay for it if they don't cancel. So anyway, I'm just like real near the end of doing that. So anyway, yeah, I ran across Russell and just he's awesome.
Awesome.
So doing it live, being at Funnel Hacking Live, and being able to hear. I mean, there are certain people I especially want to hear. And then it's all the networking of people who understand funnels, and people, the networking potential is a big reason to go there.
For sure. Yeah, there's nothing like being in a room with 5,000 people who are all going the same direction.
Yeah, in fact, I just realized, yesterday that I could put in the Backstage Pass, the Facebook group for people who are going. That I'm looking for people who deal with relationships and or who work with a lot of women, because any group that has a lot of women, will, be able to promote what I'm doing, because it's a perfect add-on. I'm not teaching dating or relationships or communication or anything like that. It's just how to get over your past, and then it'll make anybody else who's doing any of those things more effective.
That's a great idea. I'll look through my Rolodex and see who I know that might fit into that. Because I'm sure there's a ton of people who that piece comes before their piece, if you look at the sales cycle, right?
Yeah, or it's an obstacle to what they're trying to do, because people are carrying their baggage, and it's hard to let go of.
Yeah. So anything specifically that you're hoping to get out of Funnel Hacking Live besides the networking?
Well, insights into how to make my funnel the most effective.
Okay.
I'm a beginner at it. It's my first real funnel. And so, I know there are lots of ideas, about how to make it more effective and smoother, and then optimize on it, because there are other things I can do. And then I'd like to find people also that I can refer out to, because I'll be building a list. So yeah, I want to establish those relationships both ways.
Yeah. Awesome. So as you're getting ready for the event, any questions, anything I can help you with before the event?
Well, so getting started on the networking, that seems like a pretty crucial thing, because, one person can lead to another, but getting started seems like something to do, and of course I can just talk to whoever's next to me.
Right.
And that might well work, but yeah, any introductions are fantastic, okay. Of course, warm leads.
Yeah.
And otherwise, just like logistics, people have talked about, note-taking or not note-taking, and keeping track of people that you encounter and so on. So that eating there, I don't really like hotel food, so people have talked about, having food delivered,
right.
Foods and, that kind of stuff. So just the practical stuff.
Sure. So one thing I like to point out is, at Funnel Hacking Live, even though it's an internet marketing conference, you do not need your computer. So I'd recommend leave your computer in your room. Bring notepad, unless you're like a diehard computer note taker, then bring it. But if you will get a lot more out of it if you just use a notepad and take notes that way. It's theater style seating, so you'll be pretty close. There's not a table. You won't have plug in for your computer cord or your phone or anything like that. So just be aware of that. A lot of people bring external batteries for their phone in case
I have an iPad with a Bluetooth keyboard that you know, it goes quite a few hours, and you know, I could have it on my lap. So you know, I'm pretty good at listening and typing at the same time. So I'm gonna do that.
Awesome. Yeah, and there will be a lot of up and down, right? Getting up, mingling, talking to other people, sit back down. They try to keep the energy up in the room. Generally, they keep it on the cooler side. So a light jacket, something like that, is always a good idea.
Okay.
Make sure I generally bring a couple bars or snacks just so if I do get really hungry, I don't have to leave the room.
Yeah.
To go get something.
Yeah, I'm always in favor of having a little backup that way.
Yeah. I would say talk to as many people as you can, because everybody there is there to network.
Right.
And I've met some people in the past who were a little reserved, a little shy. They didn't want to put themselves out there, and because of that, they didn't get as much out of it as they could have.
Yeah. I've even I've wondered about like even having a QR code, like make a page on my site for Phone Hacking Live attendees and just have a QR code for that. Would anybody use that? You know, just like put that on my badge or something.
Hey, you sure could. You never know until you try. Most people don't have business cards at these events. They'll connect through social media, email, something like that. So it won't be a bad idea at all. Because the other thing with that is they can easily grab their phone and snap a quick picture of it.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So no, I think that's a great idea. Let's see. The other thing I recommend is I've been to events with people who have meetings, like a phone call they have to go take for half an hour or whatever during the event. I would strongly encourage you not to have any scheduled appointments outside of the event, because you never know what you're going to miss.
Right. Yeah, it's a unique opportunity. So
yeah. And one thing I was shocked at from Funnel Hacking Live last year was how many, I call them one-liners, but just little tiny sentences hit home and made a huge impact on me, my mentality, and how I go about doing business. So missing time, you could miss some of that. So that's one thing I'd be aware of. Let's see. Does that bring up any other questions or thoughts?
So yeah, you said about a light jacket. You know, I could wear a sports coat, or I could wear, you know, something more like a nylon shell, or you know, just really casual. You know, kind of sporty, or like what? How do they do that?
It's a very casual crowd.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So last year, I think I saw 3 suits. And one of them was on the speaker, right? So everybody's t-shirts will be very common, and it's gonna be very, very low key. Right. So you don't need to worry about being too fancy. Yeah. But besides that, it's what you're comfortable with. If you prefer a sports coat, then do it.
No, I wouldn't normally do that. I was just thinking of layers, you know.
Yeah.
I live in the Pacific Northwest, so it's layers. You
know? Right. I know that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. So what about food there? Do you just eat in the restaurants, or what do you do?
So each year it kind of changes, or their locations changes. So last year there were like 4 different restaurants at the hotel you can eat at. And then they also had food trucks that came up that you could go eat at during lunches and stuff like that. So I would say the restaurant this year, or the hotel this year, looks like double the size of last year's.
Yeah, it looks like Disneyland.
Yeah. It looks huge, which is amazing. Yeah. So they should have plenty of food there.
Oh, they
Um,
do a ton of restaurants. Yeah, that's for sure.
And then ClickFunnels does provide meals, a couple meals, not every meal, but they'll have lunch and dinner a couple of the days.
Oh.
So you won't be completely on your own for those.
Yeah, yeah. I tend to like to eat organic food and not commercial food. So I like the idea that I read of having that you can get deliveries from Whole Foods and they will deliver to the hotel. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, I'd do that then because who knows what they'll feed you.
Who knows? And it's the South, so yeah, really, who knows?
Exactly. But yeah, so any other questions or thoughts around Funnel Hacking Live that I can help you with?
Well, no, the main thing is the funnel and getting it totally functional, which, that's like my highest priority right now.
Mm-hmm.
And having some results that I can share with people. And then just taking it forward.
Awesome. On that note, I would mention in the evenings, there's a lot of times that's when people bring out their computers and they'll sit down like in the lobby or at a bar or restaurant and literally work together on building out their funnels, getting questions answered, stuff like that. So you could be ready for that as well.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So here's something. I am actually not using ClickFunnels software.
Excellent.
I'm using another stack, which I like.
Right.
So I'm just thinking that could be embarrassing.
I don't think anybody would care that much, and they'd help you if they could.
Yeah. Okay.
So I won't worry about it too much.
Okay. I won't worry about that. All right.
Awesome. Any other questions?
Well, the only other thing, which we've already talked about some, is about the networking and just how to make, how to let people know that I am someone they want to talk to.
Great point. I didn't mention the Facebook group, but if you start commenting, liking, and being active in the Facebook group now, people will get used to seeing your name.
Right.
And that way, when you get there, you can start having conversations and they'll recognize who you are and vice versa.
Yeah, I'm thinking of, I've done that some.
Okay, good.
I'm also thinking that I will put a post in there saying, who's dealing with relationships and, has large groups of women and so on, and start, maybe see if we can build a little pod around that.
Yeah, a little community. No, I think it's a great idea. It really is. Just put yourself out there. Right. Get that conversation flowing.
Yeah, and if you're kind of an organizer, that's always a good thing too.
Right. And from ClickFunnels standpoint, they want us to communicate and network and build those relationships because it makes the event better for everybody.
Right, more productive. Yeah, more connected. Yeah.
So,
all right, that sounds good to me. So
awesome.
So if you have any ideas about particular people,
so let me look through my thing. I'm thinking of, I can't remember her name. It'll come to me, but I'll message you guys both and just do a Facebook introduction because she helps people with endometriosis and overcoming where they're at. That could be a very natural fit of how letting go, right? So
yeah. And what I said, I'm applying this, this is like, neuromastery is a major way of making change in your life. And, it's like, for a while I was going around saying, hey, I discovered clay. It's like discovering clay. Look, you can do anything with it, but nobody cares about that. They want dishes and bowls and cups and,
Right.
So I've funneled it down, hammered it down to this one thing of get over your ex, you know, so
Yeah.
that it has so many applications. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's awesome. I really do. That's very cool. All right. I will, hopefully I'll run into you at Funnel Hacking Live as well, and we can talk then. And if not, I'll reach out afterwards. Just get what were your big takeaways? How are you going to apply them and stuff like that? And how can I help with the whole process?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate your time today.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate your experienced advice, and good luck with your project.
Thank you.
Okay.